Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. Well, all those nights when you got no lights and the check is in the mail, and your little angel on the cowherd by its tail, your third fiancé didn't show. Well, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and you're always glad they came. You want to be where you can see troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. Well, you get out of bed, the coffee's dead, the morning isn't looking bright. You shrink right off to your repine, he doesn't even write. Your girlfriend says she's not a girl. Be glad there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. You wanna be where you can see troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Everybody knows your name. Hi.
It does get you though, doesn't it? It really builds up.
Where's my thumbnail?
It's right there. I see it. It's a guy with a T-shirt that says he's got a heart of flesh that used to be stone, and he was riding a bike.
Did it change now?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, not on my screen. My screen is black. I mean, my thumbnail is black.
It'll catch up. Give it just a minute.
Okay. No, I'm gonna change it again. I'm gonna mess with it.
Now it's the bike again.
Yeah, I'm gonna force it to come back. All right, whatever. Hey, everybody. How have you
Hey,
been?
we're the monkeys. People say we monkey around. They missed a good one over with Bruce over on Gigi's channel.
Oh, I laughed so hard, man. That was so funny.
I kind of want to go back and watch. How long do you think that segment was? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
You want to pull it up and watch it so people can judge whether or not I took it too far?
Yep. I wouldn't go where to jump in because I got it before Bruce joined. I mean, the guy just he didn't even join and said hi. You got straight into it.
Well, we're about to let people watch. Now, I will say up front, I know I did not act as a great representative of Christ. I will say that up front. I could have done much better. But This was a heated exchange between me and Bruce, and we're going to share it with you guys. It was about 5 minutes. So, I'll put it up on the screen. This is going to lose us some viewers.
Everybody knows your name. I'm just filling the air until you find it. Everybody knows your name. I'm very good at this.
How do you not think Black Sabbath?
Is that Claude? Yep.
Hello, Bruce. That is a really good accent.
That isn't Claude.
No, it is me, Claude, I swear.
Yep. No.
You actually thought it for a minute, dude.
Is that
Bruce on the loose in a caboose.
is that the pretty gay guys of the PG's channel?
Yes.
Okay, pause here.
Wow.
All right. Yes, it is.
When he
First attack came from Bruce.
All right, so that's like high. Okay. He came out swinging.
So 30 seconds after introductions, Bruce calls us the pretty gay guys.
Let's see why.
All right.
are you going to start accepting LGBTQ churches as saved Proverbs guys?
Well, dude, back-to-back attacks from him.
Oh, by the way, when you pause, say it, because right now for me it looked like that was from the stream. It is the same voice in the same day, and we can't tell, right?
Okay,
So
yes.
since you posed it, I gave him an answer in the chat on that question, which is yes, a second attack immediately, right?
1 and 2. First 45 seconds in Achilles, 2 back-to-back attacks.
I gave him an answer. I said we will endorse LGBTQ members when you become a true Christian, because we wouldn't want to leave you out.
Oh, that is a solid burn. All right.
But let's go.
Soon as God releases an update of the Bible that expresses that, which I highly doubt would happen since previously he refers to it as an abomination.
What does God call idolatry?
What you do with the independent fundamental Baptist denominational doctrine.
Oh,
That's a perfect example
He
of
couldn't make it
idolatry.
through two sentences.
It's a
sentences,
perfect.
that's all it took.
It's a perfect example of idolatry. Were you saying to Paul's?
I was just saying, boom, Bruce. That's what it is.
He wanted an example off the top of my head of idolatry. I gave it to him.
Right.
Like, this is idolatry, Bruce. I'm glad you brought that point up.
I was going to reference the Eucharist, but it's not. I don't worship my church.
Are you under the impression that I do the Eucharist?
Well, you think someone who converts to a doctrine that practices that is born again?
Hello, Eastern Thomist.
How's it going? Wait, Bruce isn't here, is he?
No.
Oh, phew. I was like, no!
He's not coming here. We're too gay for him.
I just got into it with Bruce over on Gigi's channel, and I'm just playing the little 5 or 7 minute back and forth we just had. I went full scorched earth on him.
He's a difficult one. I pray for him, but he's a difficult one.
Eastern Thomas, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you dropping out of any room the minute he joins?
Will I drop out if he joins? Probably.
I think I've seen that a couple of times. The minute he joins, Eastern Thomas is like, oh no, I'm getting out of here.
He's not allowed on my channel. He's tried to sneak onto my channel before.
Like any Christian would, right?
Right. Well, what he'll do is he'll sometimes gangs or sometimes what's his name? Zealot's Den, which is a Catholic channel, who often comes on. Sometimes he'll disguise as him, and then he'll come on, and I'll be like, and then I just boot him.
Well, right now he's attacking our channel because we refuse to anathematize all the Catholics and Orthodox believers.
And yeah, you know what? You can go like you just missed 30 seconds. So if you want to go back 30 seconds ago, Stephen, and show it exactly how it happened, like the minute he came in, how he started immediately. So for instance, Thomas gets a better view of his spirit.
All right, and let's watch this 5 minutes, and you guys tell me which one of us was in the wrong.
Odd.
No, it is me, Claude, I swear.
Yep. No. Is that
There's on the loose in a caboose.
is that the pretty gay guys of the PG's channel?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
When are you going to start accepting LGBTQ churches as saved, Proverbs guys?
Well, as soon as God releases an update of the Bible that expresses that, which I highly doubt would happen since previously he refers to it as an abomination.
What does God call idolatry?
What you do with the independent fundamental Baptist denominational doctrine.
Oh,
That's a perfect example
He
of
couldn't make it
idolatry.
through two sentences.
It's a perfect.
That's all it took.
It's a perfect example of idolatry. I'm glad you brought that point up.
I was going to reference the Eucharist, but it's not. I don't worship my church.
Are you under the impression that I do the Eucharist?
Well, you think someone who converts to a doctrine that practices that is born again?
Are you under the impression that not doing the Eucharist is what makes you saved?
Well, we all know a guy who converted to the Eucharist, and you consider him born again.
Achilles?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So are you under the impression that when Daniel went from Protestant to Catholic, as soon as he did his first Eucharist, he lost his salvation? Is that
when was he ever saved? Is my question.
I didn't think you guys believed you could lose your salvation. So
well,
that's really, that's really bizarre.
I'm just trying to point. When did his salvation actually take place? Was it when he was a Protestant? Was it when he converted to Orthodoxy?
He says he got saved
somewhere in the middle.
Well, I don't know. And honestly, since I'm not Daniel, it may be better if you ask Daniel.
Well, if you don't know, then why do you consider him truly born again, like you did on that one stream, Stephen, that you kicked me off of?
Oh, right, yeah, because he does that thing that Paul says is the requirement. He confesses with his mouth.
But what does Jesus say?
He believes in his heart.
I think you're misinterpreting what Paul says, and it's contradicting what Jesus said.
Well, I'm not misinterpreting what Paul says. Paul says that you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart.
But Peter says to believe and be baptized. And then Jesus says that whosoever believeth in me shall not perish, but have ever. So which is it, Stephen? Is it what Paul says? Is it what Jesus says? Is it what Peter says? Or is it what the Orthodox Church says? Like, when are you going to take a stand?
Well, you know I'm not Orthodox. I'm also Baptist, so...
You're a social gospelist, is what you are.
Oh no!
You hold to a social gospel. You'll accept any doctrine and denomination.
Why,
and consider
Bruce?
them saved and compromise the truth just to go through the conversation.
Because I don't blow air up my pastor's butt.
That's exactly what you do. You
Bruce,
didn't even have a pastor
your
until 6 months ago.
As soon as your pastor walks in the door, I bet you fall to the ground like a Pharisee that you are and start worshiping at his feet and asking him what approved.
Oh, that's funny. The guy who hosts a YouTube channel and promotes all these strange doctrines calls me.
What are you doing for the cause of Christ? What are you doing
I
for
serve the Lord in
Christ?
person, not on a YouTube channel.
How do you do that? How do you do that? Just
well,
by
you
showing
start
up on
by
Sunday?
attending the services. You can start
Been there,
there.
done that. What else? What else are you doing
you
for the
have?
Lord? Right, been doing it.
And then what? You stopped? Why'd you stop, Stephen?
Stop what?
Why'd you go years without attending church in person?
I haven't gone years without attending church in person since I got saved in 2018. So you are a liar and the truth is not in you.
So when you lived in Glassford, you went to church the majority of times you were there?
No, we went for the last 2 or 3 months we were there.
Right. And when you lived in Alabama before that, you were a member of a church?
I did. Yep. Genesis Baptist Church, Kent Hovind's church. I was there every Sunday.
No, you
can
didn't
actually
live
check
there.
my attendance. Yes, I did. No, I didn't live there. I lived 5 minutes down the road. See? It turns out you don't know as much as you think you do, and that's the same case for your pastor, who's also a fat hypocrite.
I don't believe you. I think you're lying.
I don't really care what you think. That's between you and the good Lord Jesus.
I'm gonna place that timeline down to when you got kicked out of there to now, and there's like a few years gap in there.
Bruce, don't you have a Catholic you can go anathematize or something?
Well, I got you for now. I mean, you hold to Catholicism. You consider someone who converts to
I hold to
Catholicism.
Catholicism.
Born again.
Wow. Does the IFB approve lying now? I thought that was an NIFB thing.
Well,
you guys get more and more like
as long as they
day.
tell you, as long as they tell Stephen they said some little prayer or little like quote, then Stephen will count them as a Christian, regardless of what doctrine they openly practice.
Hey, let
It's
me
called
ask
compromising truth, and that's what you do.
So is Stephen Anderson a Baptist or is Stephen Anderson a community gospel, as you said?
Well,
I think he's a Baptist.
The Baptists I go to, they don't even consider him a qualified pastor.
Oh, really? Now they can anathematize each other? Where does it stop? Like, when do
They
you guys
never
stop condemning people?
How are you so arrogant to see that 99% of Baptists reject Stephen Anderson?
I haven't found them. You guys might reject him, but you
maybe
take on his
because you're
persona.
not really involved with any ministry.
Dude, you have the same hateful demonic spirit Stephen Anderson has. You're a hateful person.
You say that out of pride because you're probably geeked on
you are.
Out of what pride?
No, you.
Yourself.
What pride? I have a small YouTube channel. I live in a trailer.
And that's your pride. That's your ego.
The only thing
that's your
I have
identity
good in my life is my son and my beautiful wife. Like everything else, I'm very humble.
Except for your YouTube channel, which is your identity.
It's not my YouTube channel. I share it with 5 people.
Yeah, you're the head honcho and you know it.
I'm not. Dan is the head honcho, which is why
he's like the Biden. He's a Biden
all the time.
He's like Biden as president.
Look.
Well, somebody has to sign the paperwork.
You guys are lucky Dan is the president because me and Achilles would have been way more political by now. Dan is the
exactly. That's the flaw. It's political. It's not of the gospel. It's not to promote the gospel of Christ. It's church politics. It's whatever controversial subject is going on in churches. Proverbs guys is talking about it, and Steve Anderson's right on the top of the list.
Oh, do me a favor. Can you go check our recent uploads and streams and tell me which ones are political and which ones aren't? Because I think it's going to be like 100%.
None of them are biblical doctrinal subjects. They're all based on church drama and church controversies.
Bruce, you wouldn't know biblical context if it bit you on the ass.
Oh.
You hadn't even read the book of Acts until like, what, 2 months ago? Hey, I remember my first beer.
Where do you get off stating that? You have no knowledge
because you
of what I read.
Went to Christian Pike. He had to convince you to go read the book of Acts. Don't
what
be
makes
a liar,
you think
Bruce.
I've never read the book of Acts?
Knowledge.
Because
you have no grounds to actually make that logical
mouth. You made the claim. I wish Christian Pike was here so he could call Bruce a liar too.
You'll take Christian Pike's word over mine, when I'm currently here with you.
I would take 4 Christian Pike's words over you.
You're a little gossiper. You'll take something that some other gossiper said and go spread it like wildfire.
Bruce, am I a gossiper?
You are.
Oh no, that hurts my little heart.
Well, like a. What does the book of Proverbs say about gossip?
What am I going to do? Bruce is disappointed in me. I have a
YouTube ministry called Proverbs Guys. Yeah, I'm going to call my ministry Proverbs Guys, but not acknowledge any of the proverbs about talebearing or gossip or spreading false witness. Okay.
Oh, okay. And what about the parts of the Bible about how to treat your brother and your neighbors and treating them as yourself?
Well, if your Bible didn't take out Catholics 5:22,
excuse me, little boy, I'm talking. Does any part of those scripture verses tell you to go condemn Catholics to hell?
Tells you to preach the truth and condemn for the common salvation.
Okay, but can you give me the chapter and verse? I'll treat you like a child because you're a baby. Chapter and verse that says, go into a room of Catholics and condemn them, anathematize them.
Where is it, Paul or Acts 15 when Paul was in Athens? And
have you finally read through Acts? That's cute.
Yeah, you see how you're acting, Stephen? It's immature, dude.
I'm acting the exact way you treat
Nina.
every single
And you see,
person you
that's
come in
exactly
contact with.
what a little kid would say. I'm doing what you
Oh,
do.
is it? Is it what a little kid would say? That's so interesting, Bruce.
Dude, you're like 6'4". Be a man.
I'm 6
Be a man
foot
of
2
God
and a
that you're called
half.
to be.
Oh, coming from you, you have the most hateful, bitter heart of anyone I've ever met.
You've never met me.
Christ.
That
No,
just shows how foolish you are. You've never met me.
but by talking to you, even online, I would not know Jesus through you. You don't
Dang.
represent him at all. You're full
You're
of
saying
hate and
that out of
bitterness and
pride.
pride and correction. You don't ever come on to fellowship with anyone. You come on streams to be
Well,
right.
no, he'll fellowship at my channel.
What's the worst thing I could say to someone? I know I'm going to say that you do a disservice to God.
Oh no.
That it?
I don't have Bruce's approval of how I serve my Lord. How am I going to sleep tonight, Jesus? How am I going to do it?
You don't have the Bible's
How
approval,
am I going
Stephen.
to sleep without Bruce approving of me?
What about God's approval? What do you think God thinks of the way you're acting?
If God didn't approve of me, he would collapse Proverbs, guys. But instead, he keeps
Is
building
that why
us
you're
up
struggling to pay
more
for it?
and more and more.
Is that why you're struggling to pay for it?
Y'all are being
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
when you start doing
God will
anything
chastise
for the
you.
Lord,
God
figure it
could
out.
just pull the plug, but he could also give you many, many chances to
You're
repent
lucky
and
I'm
make it
not
right.
God. I would have already pulled the plug on you, Bruce. I'm a smiter. It's a good thing I'm not the Lord.
Hey, he'll mess with your cars too, man. Car repairs.
Well, you literally live up north. If either of us is being chastened, it's you, my friend. Don't you live in Chicago, like the belly of Satan's butt crack?
No.
Guys, please.
Dude, I live in Iowa, dude. You know where I live.
Wait, Bruce
Please.
now believes in temporal punishment.
I saw two barred owls last night.
Even Paul,
Hooing it up.
Easton Tom is trying to say something.
I was just gonna say I didn't know Bruce believed in temporal punishment. Now I didn't think you were supposed to believe that as an independent fundamentalist Baptist.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing. Bruce has very weird doctrines that you can't quite put a finger on. So there's like zero accountability besides him and his cliquish little denomination.
He's strange. I think the first time I ever talked to him on Daniel's channel, he said, "You guys aren't going to be raptured away," so he believed in the rapture. And now he's like 10 minutes later, he was like attacking people for being dispensationalists.
He is pre-tribulation.
Yeah.
At least right now. That's the thing about Bruce. He'll come on and argue two sides of a topic like baptism. I've heard him come on and argue that it's directly related to salvation, and then I've heard him come on and argue that it's not connected to salvation. It's like, well, you've argued both sides now.
Yeah. Well, I remember one time we just said the word predestination. Like, we didn't say anything else. I just said the word predestination, which is a word in the Bible. And he says, "You're a Calvinist. You're a Reformed Catholic. You're a Calvinist Catholic." And I said, "Bruce, so let me get this straight. You don't believe in predestination?" And he's like, "No, I believe in free will." And I said, "Okay, let's open up Ephesians." And there's the word predestined. And then he's like, "Okay, but it's not in the manner you think it is." He went from saying there's no such thing as predestination verbatim to, okay, well, maybe predestination, the word literally is in the Bible. But, you got to listen to me, man.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I am not a Calvinist at all, but predestined and elected. These are terms that are in the Bible. So you can either learn a defense and learn the context to know what's happening, or your only other defense is to shout Calvinist, and that just doesn't work.
Right.
All right, I think there's like 2 more minutes of this. Let's get through it. You guys grab your barf buckets.
I'm blessed, man. God is good. He has blessed me throughout the years, man. And I'm ever so grateful to him. And that's why I will not compromise falsehood for truth, because his spirit is worth preaching and the common salvation is worth contending for. And, You know what my missionary friend said about this little community? He goes,
Sometimes.
Bruce, you got the easiest mission field ever. I'm over here in Africa talking to Muslims who don't even like speak the same language as us.
Oh,
You got it easy, bro. Guys
what?
like you, Stephen, you never last in the real world, man. If you were to take your many of your doctrinal positions, you'd have some bumps in the road. Christian Pike, especially, he's the same way. If he went to any Baptist pastor, he'd run into 100 contradictions into what he stands for and believes. I mean, you literally did that show about how we're made in the image of the devil the other day. I mean, if he actually put where he stands on multiple doctrinal positions, like on a thesis, on paper, like he'd be thrown out of the church because they'll call him a Calvinist heretic. And you're up there, man. But you've improved, Stephen. That's why you're in a Baptist church right now.
Bruce, if you think I've improved, I have some serious repenting to do, because that means I'm turning into a terrible witness for Christ.
Have you gone door to door
Please, both of you,
with the
stop.
gospel, Stephen?
Please.
What do you think I do online?
That ain't going online.
Bruce, it terrifies me that you are a representative that knocks on doors. And I think we would save more people if you stopped.
Oh my goodness.
Like I said, he's just trying to think of the most hateful, offensive thing he could think
Oh
of.
yeah.
No,
And
I'm pouring out my heart to you.
Hey, Stephen, I know you got a baby mama, bro. My baby mama's already done.
Dude, that was my favorite comeback of the whole thing that happened there. But because it hurt him that much, he's like, oh, it just needs to be hateful. And who started it? Maybe you poked the wrong bear. Little. Right. So, yeah, unfortunately, we have people like that going door to door saying, have you met Jesus? And they don't demonstrate his heart, and through their behavior, they don't represent him at all.
I'll be right back.
All right,
Very
no
sad.
problem. Oh, man. We could actually probably just stop it here, Achilles. I don't think it got much more heated than this.
I don't know, man. You're a funny guy. As Easton Thomas said, we'll be praying for you.
Oh, brother. All right, so Achilles, this is Bring Your Grievances night. Claude had a lot of grievances that he wanted to bring during the reveal of the Kent Hovind documentary, and I told him he could come on and bring his grievances, and we'll ask E.T. when he comes back if he has any grievances. Do you have any grievances that you want to air out about a particular people who may or may not reside in the East, somewhere in the middle?
So you gotta help me a little with the expression. What do you mean, like grievances? Like I don't know. I get the word grieve, but
So a grievance is a complaint.
okay.
So it can be a grievance about a group of people, or a grievance about a policy, or a grievance about a gag order. Not being
Okay.
able to talk about anything political.
Okay, no. I said something here on PGs the other day, and I received a lot of flack for it, and I want to repeat it.
All right, get it out.
I'm really, really, really not surprised and not disappointed in Satan these days, because he's doing exactly what I was expecting him to be doing. But I'm very disappointed in Christians. That because they have conflicted the word Republican with the word Christian, they have stopped knowing what's right and what's wrong. And it's very sad. It's very sad. It's like those children deserve to die, and it's very sad. So that's my grievance. Now I'll be making a video about it, though.
Eastern Thomas, what about you, my friend? The open panel is to bring your grievances. Do you have one?
Well, let me tell you, man, you're all my grievance. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, I guess just to comment on Mr. Wayne, I mean, I pray for that guy, but oh boy, it's like there's a reason I don't engage with him for anymore. It's I think he's someone who's very hard. He has a very hard heart. I think he's someone who you could bring all the logic and reason to him, and he will just go. He just dig his heels in.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. I do agree with you. It does seem like, and it's a safe bet, that Bruce, he's almost unable to have a good faith discussion.
Yeah.
He just wants to meet up with you somewhere so he can convert you.
To being a Baptist.
He understands the faith either. I think he's someone who's like one of these personality types where they kind of just drift towards, whatever really amplifies their personality. I think the fire. I don't know much about his church, and I don't want to bear false witness about his church, but my guess is he probably met someone who is because a lot of people don't act that way unless they meet someone who's like that. So I almost wonder if he met someone that was kind of this big fire and brimstone type of person, and that kind of amplified him and just kind of drifted towards that personality.
Yeah, that's a strong possibility.
Because very few people just get to that place on their own.
Is that your only grievance? Is that Bruce is unable to have a good faith conversation?
Okay. That Bruce is able to have a. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, in terms of like problems with the channel, I'd say. I mean, I think this channel is great, even if I don't always agree theologically. But I mean, in terms of my grievances are probably just with Bruce, but I don't want to be too uncharitable.
That's something you bring up quite a bit, charity. And
Yeah.
you even referenced the saint who talked about it quite a bit, St. Thomas.
Well, yeah, St. Thomas Aquinas does talk about it quite a bit here, the whole thing about it.
Yeah, and that is a good attribute that you can look at somebody, and not charity like financially. We're not talking about donating money or that, but although that could obviously qualify. But being charitable in a conversation, even going into a conversation with someone who believes as differently as, say, you and I do, but being able to be respectful and find the common ground, which for us is Christ, that's charity. And that's an attribute every Christian should have if they profess.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, St. Paul calls it the most important virtue, and he calls it the bond of perfection. And I mean, I think reading the Bible, it seems very clear that charity is absolutely necessary. And if you're not going to have charity, it's very.
2 Corinthians 13.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much your faith is if you don't have. It actually doesn't say charity. I've had a lot of discussions on this, but I don't know who was listening. It says love, but when you guys get this sense of what charity is, I'm okay with it because my issue is when people read this and think charity means give money to the church because it contradicts a verse further down. No, it speaks of love. If you don't have love, even if you have the faith that can move mountains, you're nothing. It's nothing. It's of no use at all.
Right. I've got a panel tonight at 9 p.m. It's going to be an open panel. It's called the 3 worst arguments for the existence of God from a Christian perspective.
From a Christian one.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try to at least stop by for a little bit.
Yeah. Everybody everybody's welcome. It's an open panel.
Help me with the time. What do you mean 9? How many hours from now?
Well, it's 9 p.m. Eastern. What time is it for you now, Achilles?
1 a.m.
1 a.m. So let me think. So right now it's 7 p.m. for me. So it's in
It's
2 hours.
2 hours from now.
3 a.m. for you.
Okay, I might drop in to throw my 2 cents and then go to bed.
That's
my
good.
My 2 cents is, I think, the argument that is the most prominent. No, not the right word. The most apparent argument right now: if there was a God, why is there so much evil on the world? But true Christians have the answer to that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people see all that is happening in the world today, and they're like, there can't be a God because he wouldn't be allowing this to happen. And our response is, wait a minute, what part of this is Satan's world don't you understand?
Well, there's also the price. I mean, if I'm going to put on like a smarty pants answer, I mean, there's always the answer of the privation of good, which is that God is the supreme good. God makes us distinct from him. We're still made in his image, but obviously, God isn't a pantheistic God. We're still distinct from him. We participate in him, but we are distinct from him. But the reason evil exists is because of the privation of good. It's because of those who lack the good, which is God.
Right. And I'll agree. And free will.
Well, right, that's true, free will, yeah.
And a bunch of men who freely choose money over love, over humanity, right?
Right.
And one of the arguments I hear a lot is, if there is a God, why is Africa the way it is right now? Why are children starving in Africa? I'm like, have you looked into colonialism and neo-colonialism at all? It's not God's fault what men did. We've destroyed Africa. The European Union or Europa or Europe and the US, we're the ones that made that mess. It's not God. God told us to love our neighbor. And we're like, nope, scratch that one out. They have gold. Let's go get them.
Yeah, the same argument against God. Like, what kind of God would allow cancer? Okay, but here's the thing. We know beneath the shadow of doubt that sugar feeds cancer. Why is it that everything we eat and drink is full of the thing that feeds cancer? Like, at what point do we take responsibility?
Right.
And it's funny that you mentioned the responsibility part, because atheists are going to say, well, I don't believe in a God because I don't like putting stuff on an invisible man in the clouds. I take responsibility. Yeah, but when it comes to the evil of this world, you're not looking into your mirror at all. You're not looking at mankind. So it's a contradiction, a hypocritical contradiction there. The responsibility. I don't believe in a man in the clouds because I take blame for stuff. But when it comes to all the bad stuff, well, I blame them on the invisible man in the clouds. I mean,
Well, what I'm going to be doing on this stream is obviously St. Thomas Aquinas, probably the thing that he's most well known for are his 5 proofs for the existence of God. And this is going to be talking about proofs outside of that, which, even though St. Thomas believed in God, these are probably arguments he would caution against. One of them he did caution against. The St. Anselm argument was the argument that he cautioned against. But there were 2 others that most people think he probably would have cautioned against because of the framework he created. But he didn't talk about them because they came later after his time.
All right. I hope I can make it.
Yeah.
So this one is a show on grievances, and Stephen knows I'm not the one to let grievances out these days. I have been, but not on this channel.
Yeah, you've been airing it out pretty thick on on Aiden's channel.
Yep.
I heard all about it. Somebody told me you need to get your friend. He's talking really far left. I was like, yeah, sometimes he goes far left for even me. I was like, but I'm not telling him. I'm not getting in the middle. If you want to tell Achilles to calm down, you tell him to calm down.
I don't think Achilles was far left. I've never heard him say anything.
No, that's there's this funny impression in the US that when you talk against Trump, you have to be a leftist. Like there is no other way to not like him. That's it. You love gay people. If you go against Trump, you just love gay people. Like they have that black or white thing. So when then you add some social issues, oh, he's definitely a leftist. If you talk about healthcare, that in my country we have free healthcare, oh, he's a communist. You know, that's so yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't care. The funny thing is that people think I care for what they think. I don't. I want them to think. I don't care what they'll think. I want them to think. So as somebody who is not in the US, I think it's a responsibility to give them the outside perspective of some stuff and get all the flack for it. It's okay. I don't care. God will judge me for my actions or inactions and not about the response I got to it, you know?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, just so you know, Achilles, you're far left.
I'm in the far east. Of course I will be far left. Wait, left, east, right, west, right?
Oh, I don't know. Don't ask
Or
me.
left. Right or left?
I don't even know to level with you.
I got confused too, dude. I know I have a moral compass, right? And that moral compass shows somewhere in the middle between those two things. Oh, he's a centrist then. Ah, it's like it never stops, dude.
Yeah. Now, I want to share my grievance because my grievance is the mentality that Bruce has. And it's that if you don't hold exactly to someone else's doctrine, they want to start treating you like you don't know anything about the scriptures or you're not even saved or any of that hogwash. Like,
You'll burn in hell.
yeah. Or they won't tell you you'll burn in hell, but they'll treat you like you're going to burn in hell. It's like, when did we start turning, when did we start turning our beliefs on biblical things into dogmas that are connected? Why do we connect everything to salvation?
Yeah, you told him that last time, and he did his best to ignore that comment because I think that was a very fair criticism. That you can't have all opinions that you have on doctrines to salvational issues. People have different opinions, but that doesn't change the fact that they have accepted Jesus Christ, and He's going to rebuke us and correct us all when it comes to our doctrines. And you know what? I actually think that when we make it to heaven, maybe none of us got it right. Of anything, dude. And the reason I say that is because the book of Revelation says that the only one worthy, it uses that word, the only one worthy of opening up the scroll was the Lamb. The angels looked around the earth and they found nobody worthy of opening up the scroll. That is terrible. That is terrible news for us. So maybe all of our doctrines are wrong. But we're still going to be there, though.
I think that's a little bit out of context.
Oh.
Yeah. Because the reason no one else was found worthy is because he was God who accomplished eliminating the death penalty. Like, he took back the ownership of this world at that point from Satan. You know,
I see what you're saying, but I do think that is.
I mean, we could also be a great disappointment. One doesn't have to negate the other. It could be that, he is just the only one qualified because of who he is and what he did, and then
Right.
we
Right.
also just suck.
Right. So I'll just take the second one as a possibility too, just so I never feel like, yeah, I'm cool. There is a chance that on some doctrine that that I don't read it from the text, but I read into the text, I might be way wrong on it. So never make it gospel. Because the book does say there that nobody was able to unlock the book. For me, unlocking the book means to understand the book of Revelation. So it's not about everybody on the earth being unworthy when it comes to their hearts, but when it comes to really focusing to unlock the book of Revelation, we are pretty unworthy, all of us. We take for granted what we've been told because we are a little bit bored to go back and forth. Old Testament, New Testament, back again and again and again and again, and learn the whole thing so we can decrypt the book of Revelation. I think there's a bit of boredom attached to us not unlocking that book.
You know what I'm going to do?
And the show?
No. I'm going to change my name to Western Stephen to match Eastern Thomas, and you should change yours to Less Eastern Achilles.
Or I'm in the middle. I don't know. Can you see my avatar? Because if I don't have an avatar and I also change the name, then nobody will know who this is. Unless
your avatar is you riding the ghost bike.
Yeah, but let me go to YouTube and see if it appears there. Because it might be only in here that you see it. Oh yeah, it appears fine. Okay.
All right, and all of you guys who are out there watching this, this episode is an open mic, and it's Bring Your Grievances. So if you have a grievance against us or about somebody or something, and you want to share that grievance, bring it to us. We are ready to hear it. Is it because we've been too political lately? Because we talked about war and stuff? Because I just thought that was Christian, Achilles.
I think so too. I still believe it is.
Is it because of the time we said we should pray for peace between Gaza and Israel so that the killing stops?
Dude, I don't know if without getting into the specific of it. I think we as Christians are responsible for presenting a bad example to atheists, because when an atheist says this is not right, and a Christian responds, no, it's right because my supreme leader says so, atheists are gonna say, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that way. Hello, BBM.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the grievance.
Good
Welcome to the
you.
grievances night.
Cool.
Good to see you too.
Thank you.
Hey, if you send me your email, Big Bad Mama, I'll send you all the AI depictions I've made of your avatar.
Okay, I'll do that. Is your
you can just send
is
it
your
through
email
Robin.
in this? Oh, okay. Send it through Robin.
You can either send it through Robin and she can forward it to me, or if you don't mind me having your email, just write Proverbs Guys Ministries at Gmail.
Write it in the private chat here.
Well, it's just Proverbs Guys Ministries at Gmail.
Okay,
It's a pretty easy one.
Why do you guys
It's
have
the
to make
channel
it so
name.
complicated?
Right.
There's a private chat here.
That's true. So, Big Bad Mama, it's open mic. Bring your grievances. Do you have some grievances for us?
Maybe just a couple.
Great. Get them out.
One,
What is it?
One is that the thing that's put forward regarding Hoven's trial is that Atchison, who we all know who Roy David Atchison, I think that was his name, but
Correct.
a total scumbag. But his role in that trial was very, very minor. And the way it's put forward by, I think you did in the documentary, but certainly Kent Hovind does, that he was the major player for the prosecution. And that's just simply not true.
I would tend to agree with you more if that was the only connection to pedophiles who were working his case. It is true that he was not the main district prosecutor, that he was the assistant prosecutor. My real issue is that not only was the assistant prosecutor busted getting off the plane to molest a child, but the main prosecutor's husband was found to be on a mailing list that another judge had been busted for child pedophilia. Like, there were too many connections against him. And if you want my real opinion, I honestly think that since that fell through, I don't know if I'm going to get stoned for this, or I'll just say it though. I have always felt like Chris Jones was a plant to hurt Kent's reputation.
He's known Chris Jones for decades, though. Ever since I think he was in California. Yeah.
He's been acquainted with him, but when I asked Kent, he said that he met up with Chris like 3 times in California. That Chris, I think one time even came and picked him up in his limousine. Because I guess that's what Chris Jones did in California. Right. I think he was a limousine driver. Right. But between the assistant prosecutor and the prosecutor's husband...
connection here.
Oh, my bad. All right, so was that your full one grievance?
That was one grievance. The second grievance also regarding the... Let me get it out, because I think I have a lag here, so let me just get the second one out. It's basically said that at Kent's trial that the judge in the sentencing had said, your crime is worse than grape. And the judge never said that. That was said by Eric Hovind himself at Joe Hovind's sentencing trial. So, and that was documented by Jen Fishburne, who meticulously documented the trial notes, and she was a Hovind follower, so she was not, an atheist or something like that. So that's the second one. Thank you.
Yeah, so on that one, we would have to come to a draw, because it is true that Fisher girl, who was not an atheist, did report that that was not in there. But we have the testimony of several others who were in the court that day and said that it was. And I forget one of the gentlemen's names, but I highlight him in the documentary, and he gave the sworn testimony, and he was there. Like, we can even fact check that he was there that day. So when you have 2 conflicting testimonies, you pick the one you find more credible. And obviously, since I think Kent Hovind was being railroaded by his government, I side with him.
I would just add that the sworn testimonies came 8 or 9 years after, and that Jen Fishburne was the only one of those people that was actually at the trial taking notes. So I would just want to add that.
Well, no, that's my point. The gentleman I referenced in the documentary was also in the court that day. So, his testimony would be just as legitimate as the Fisher.
Right, but he didn't document it. He documented it 9 years later, is what I understand. But anyway, let's get beyond that.
That's true. No, that's true. That's a fair point. But I would say, if you were in the trial of someone as big as Kent Hovind, who you saw as like a Baptist pastor, and then he was told by a judge that his crimes was worse than rape, don't you think that would leave an imprint on you that would last more than 8 years? Like, I don't think you'd have a problem recalling that.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. To the first point, though, Stephen, you made the claim that perhaps Chris Jones was a plant, but what about Brady? Brady's not a good guy.
Actually, that one I think is defensible, Brady Byram, because he is at least repentant, and he doesn't try to hide his past. He's very open about it. Whereas someone like Chris Jones is just a predator of the worst kind, and he's not repentant, and he's still out on the loose doing it probably today.
Yeah, let's hope not. Anyway, those are just 2 grievances, but thank you. I appreciate the answers.
Out of all the history we have, your only 2 grievances were about the documentary. That's impressive.
No, I've got I could fill up this whole channel with that, but
well, bring us.
I want to give other people a chance. Like if Claude would be good to come on.
I invited Claude to come on. No, I put the link out there. I invited Claude on. I'd like him to come in.
As I said, these are BBM's grievances for one day. Let's not throw them all in.
It actually, the list wasn't bad. I thought the list could have been much worse.
Well, wait till next week. I'll just hang out if you guys want to keep chatting.
Yeah, let me ask a question, BBM. Oh, man. Just because there's been this, my focus has turned into attacking hypocrisy, and I just would like to know from somebody outside what they would call Christians, but I call Republicans. How does it feel for your side listening to points that have been made on Aiden's show or here, and see this a little different perspective than the classic, I don't want to talk against my supreme leader, but I don't have idols. I don't know. I could be going on for hours. Maybe I gave you what I mean, so you can respond already. Because I'm not sure what the question is, to be honest. But
so is it how I view Christofascism, or?
Well, you definitely can go there, because I think we now have this new term that we got to deal with, neo-Christofascism. We just let's all pray to start.
What does that mean? Neo-Christian fascist?
Neo means new one.
Yeah, right? I know what neo means.
Yeah,
I know, like neo-Thomism.
You never heard the term
what do you mean by neo-Christian? I've heard it thrown around.
He means that it's happened in the past, but it's new.
Right.
Has specifically Christian fascism happened in the past?
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, it has been.
Well, you can say that, like in Nazi Germany, that they were Christofascists, but I think the neo-Christofascist has an element.
I don't know if I would say they were. Yeah.
Well, they certainly used
I would say that
both
the
Protestant
fascists.
and the
Catholic
Catholic
Christian.
Church.
Yeah, I mean they were Christian and they were also fascist. I don't know how much they integrated Christianity in. Like when I think of a Christian government, I think of Christianity being integrated into the government. I don't know if I'd consider the Nazis really having done that, because they did
That's a good
oppress
point.
people who were other Christians. They oppressed Bonhoeffer, who was a Protestant.
Well, he was
Saint
speaking
Teresa
out against the
Benedicta.
Nazis. That's
Well, there's that, but
yeah.
like there were
Bonhoeffer
also
spoke.
like,
Yeah.
but there was also like Saint Maximilian Kolbe, who was my confirmation saint, who was a Catholic,
Oh,
who
right.
wasn't Jewish, and they put him in a camp.
Oh, jeez. And I just want to apologize because I think there's a lag on my end. So I don't want to, if I do like interrupt you, I'm not trying to do it on purpose.
That's all right. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah. One of my future.
But I would say there's a new. Oh, yeah. So, Achilles, regarding your question, I would say a lot of people who purport to be really right wing and Christian aren't really practicing Christianity. They might call themselves Christian, but I don't see like Christian values, like love your brother or even love your enemy. I just don't see those values. There's so much trying to oppress different groups, different minority groups. And Christianity is not supposed to be separating people. It's supposed to be bringing people together in love. And so I don't know if that answers your question, but thank you.
Yeah. I can just tell you that we agree. I think you defined the Christian better than I've heard from supposed Christians lately.
Yeah, I've got a future video on my channel coming on basically what Pope Leo the 13th, what he wrote about what he thought was an ideal Christian government. And he supports Christian integralism, but he doesn't support a theocracy either. He basically, the argument he makes is the whole point of law, and he takes from St. Thomas Aquinas, who says the whole point of law and the whole point of government is that it's supposed to kind of draw people to the common good, or draw a multitude to the common good. And so because St. Thomas would say God is the supreme good, Pope Leo expands and says, well, because of that, there needs to be some intellect of good. There can't be this loosey-goosey type of thing. But he draws the line at, well, members of the church are going to be the ones that are lawmakers, and they're going to be like, he doesn't like Pope Leo doesn't say, well, the Pope should just come in and he should, just tell all the political leaders, here's how you're going to govern. He says that he says that lawmakers should use the Christian faith as an archetype for how to make laws to kind of, lead society to the common good. But he says that if it gets to a point where the Pope or other ministers of the church are basically stepping in and saying, well, we're going to make laws now, well, that would be disordered because that doesn't naturally pertain to their office. And so he doesn't support separation of church and state, but he also doesn't support an infusion of church and state. He makes the idea, he kind of comes up with the idea of sort of the church and state as kind of a body soul composite. That's kind of the way he looks at it.
So, Eastern Thomas, the reason we have this term now is because we actually have a government that started a war that they claim that, among other things, because they keep changing the narrative, it keeps the goalpost keeps moving. But generals are telling the soldiers that are moving towards the Middle East right now that Trump is chosen by Christ to bring the Armageddon faster so he can come back faster. So in a sense, we are attacking a state for being a theocratic state, with a government that says that it does that for God. So we are being hypocritical as a civilization, and other than it being the whole start of World War III, and it's so many implications that it has, we are worse. Even if they are a theocratic state, they haven't done anything about it. They haven't gone out to get us, but we do. So why are we even better? So now that's a new term that Christians need to face, because when an atheist comes to you and tells you that Christianity has been used for wars, now they have a great example, a very recent example. They don't have to go back to Adolf. They just have Trump. Ooh, but I can't attack Trump, our supreme leader. Anybody?
Can I answer that, Achilles?
Of course. I think Easter Thomas is AFK or something. You're muted, Eastern.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening.
I would. Oh, go. Oh, okay, Eastern Thomas. Do you want to go ahead?
No, you can go ahead. You can go. I'm just listening.
Okay. I was going to say that Trump is representing the oligarchs, and you have to compare what's happening in Iran to what happened in Venezuela. And what did the war in Venezuela end up being about? It wasn't about narco right. It was about oil, and this war is about oil. Right. And Trump has been a master at using the Christian leadership in the United States for his own purposes, for the purposes of the oligarchs. Trump represents the oligarchs. And you have to tie Israel in there as well. But the government of Israel, not the Israeli people. But so I think you have to look at Iran through that lens, that it's not just Christian versus Muslim. There's a layer on top of it that's running the whole show, in my mind. Anybody, go ahead.
No, I 100% agree. It is a multifaceted situation, but I got seriously pissed off when I saw them praying with that Jezebel preacher. What's her name? I even forget her name now. And then hearing that it's just about bringing the Armageddon closer, guys. So yeah, it is as you said. He has this. The people behind him are using him to play the Christians the way it's convenient for them, right? To do whatever they want. Right now, that's what they want. That right now, it's that. I do think they're bringing the Armageddon closer, which is terrible. I thought we were trying to avoid that,
I mean, I'm an environmentalist, and so I look at like these last couple elections, maybe the last 3 or 4, and the environment and protecting the environment hasn't been anywhere on the agenda of either party in the United States, Democrat or Republican. Even the Democrats are all about just drill, baby, drill. And, that kind of short-term vision, all for, massive amounts of wealth right away, is going to lead to environmental degradation like we've never seen. And at some point, there's going to be no turning back. It might be already done, but.
Yeah, I do think we're beyond that point. And then you have so many bombings of oil facilities, and you see that thick cloud going up in the air, and you're like,
yeah,
no matter how much we've achieved, we just ruined the whole thing. Okay, it would burn, but it would burn
horrible.
slower. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I agree.
did you happen to watch that clip I played on Aiden's show from the Australian government, the honest ad from the Australian government?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Can you
so
summarize it?
it's a superb channel that is all about the environment, and it keeps exposing actions that the Australian government does. And the way they do that is they release videos called an honest government ad. And it just speaks honestly. It's not, let me see if I remember the channel, the Jewish Media, I think it is. Okay, so I'll give you this link on the private chat. And
Okay.
This has to do it's a bit of Australia, but also the US, and overall the whole hypocrisy that although they know that something is terrible for the environment, it makes money, so that's what they're gonna do. For example, AI, right? Like we didn't have enough ways to destroy the environment. Now we have to build all these data centers because they need to compete among themselves which one has the best answers on Google. By the way, it made news here. I don't know if it made it there because your media is a little one woman and her daughter denied a $26 million deal offer for their lands. I think it was somewhere in Alabama. They wanted to make an AI center, and half of that land belongs to a family, and they said no to $26 million, dude. And I want you to put yourself.
Wow, that's incredible.
Right, and I want you to put yourself in her spot, because I put myself in her spot, and I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying to be, but that's 26 mil, right? And they said no. Made it in our news feed here. Let me see
that's
if I can
interesting.
find
Yeah,
that.
I hadn't heard that story. Eastern Thomas, I go to a Byzantine church about 4 or 5 times a year. It's really cool. Very interesting service.
Nice, very nice. Yeah.
Did you hear the recent news, guys?
It's total old school.
Yeah, that's
what
what I
happened?
like about it. Yeah.
Netanyahu shut down the Orthodox Church.
I did hear. Yeah.
We're supposed to receive the Holy Light in almost 20 days from now.
Yikes.
Yeah. And did you hear his quote, Eastern Thomas, about Jesus?
I did.
BBM?
Yes,
What did he
I
say?
did.
No.
He says Jesus is no match for Genghis Khan, because when evil has a lot of weapons, evil can overcome good. And he said that on the same day that he closed down.
Wow.
That he closed down the most sacred Christian church on the earth, which is where the Holy Light comes from. So I don't know, stuff like that really pissed me off. I don't know what's going on with others.
Was that recent?
Yesterday, today. he shut down the mosque where the Muslims just finished their Ramadan and their Eid begins, which means they are supposed to go to the temple. They can't go. And he also shut down the Orthodox Church for security concerns. Wink, wink. And I got a question as a Christian. I know that there are many Christians out there that don't side with that question, but I'm allowed to have it as one, right? My question is, you have billions for missiles and you can't afford guards to take care of security threats. So it's going to be a weird Easter this year. Let's see what happens. I'm glued to the news feed. So, other grievances. Again, Stephen is not here, and I'm getting sucked into what I'm trying to avoid doing here. I'm saving this for another club, the Aiden Club. You remember Bill Hicks, BBM? At some point, he was saying something about JFK. It's like evidence of how a totalitarian government can control the media and make a. Oh no, wait, wrong meeting. Yeah, I'm having that moment. Okay, so in other news, I built a water-cooled computer here for a child. I want to impress it, so I did my best. And I turned on its pump after I got finished with it. Actually, let me show you the computer. And it was leaking. And it was leaking somewhere where it got all over the computer. So I've been cleaning for 2 hours. Liquid off a motherboard and but let me show you. Tell me if you think that kid will get impressed with this. He's not, I guess you call it high school. Wait, am I sharing? I'm not sharing yet, am I? Oh, I was, huh? Okay.
You
Stephen,
were, yeah.
Stephen, are you back? How did the screen go up? Anyway, yeah, that's what I built. So wow. It was, yeah, it was
impressive.
It was leaking behind here, so it kept dropping down on the motherboard and stuff, got in all the way inside this case here, which is the power supply and the cables. And oh God, no! So now I filled it with water. It looks way better now because it's all blue and everything with the water. But I got to dismantle almost all of it.
Wow, that's a chore.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I gave you the news about what happened today down there, and I don't want to get into it. That's why I'm talking about a computer, right?
I just want to bring up another thing that people need to be aware of is what the Israeli government is now doing to Lebanon, because it is basically the same thing they've already done to Gaza. And I just want people to at least be aware that that's happening right now, and it's just starting. And people can speak out about it and perhaps stop it. But I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention.
Just to add, I want to thank you for bringing it up, and I need your help, Vivian, you and Aiden and others that see this injustice. I need you guys to help me wake Christians up that nobody's telling you that you can stop it. but at least use your freedom of speech to voice your disapproval. That's all I'm asking. Just say no to this. Yes, I voted for that guy for specific reasons, but then he went amok. Like he went berserk. That's not who I voted for. Just admit it. So what they did,
and you can support him and not support single actions. You know what I mean? You can still support him, but not support things that he's done.
Just don't try to excuse everything he does. That's all.
Right.
Have an opinion, actually. Have a mind, you know. So they pulled out a red line in Lebanon, on southern Lebanon, which is an area like, I don't know, 1/3 of California. All right. They pulled the red line and they said, below that line, we're going to bomb. So get out of there. So people did. And guess what they did then? They bombed outside that line. They bombed where people went.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, but there were terrorists in those tents. Crazy stuff. We're just experiencing.
Well, I mean, yeah. Hezbollah has attacked them, but the amount of I mean, Hezbollah has attacked, but the amount of attacks by them as opposed to what the government of Israel has done to southern Lebanon in the past, even like invading it, I think several times, but they've certainly bombed it. But you know, it is a one-sided thing for the most part.
And during the ceasefire, BBM, there was a supposed ceasefire, and they kept hitting during the ceasefire. But I know that American news are not reporting on it, and you have to go out of your way to discover it. And they're airstriking Gaza. They have closed the borders right now of Gaza. There is no humanitarian aid coming in. They have banned toys for children. They're not letting them out, and they're airstriking the area. We have 600 dead people from the ceasefire on. Last time I checked. It's been a week.
Wow.
And then, okay, yeah, I get it. The other side is going to throw a rocket, right? I'm not endorsing that, but they would. And that's the excuse to shoot them like with another 500 rockets. That's exactly what you said. They're doing the same thing. What they did to Gaza, they're just expanding to Lebanon. They're done with Gaza now. There's nothing left. What do you bomb? Right. Rambo?
No, you build high-priced hotels for the donor class. I mean,
for Kucher.
Isn't that what's going to end up happening there? Is they're going to build high-end hotels on the Mediterranean Sea?
Right. And then to get your mind off it, he started talking about Cuba now. Just to get your eyes off this one. Like, let me throw another red herring there. I'm going to take Cuba. Gonna take Cuba.
Yeah.
We had an epiphany with Stephen. We had an epiphany with Stephen here the other day that he said he would be the peace president. You know what, BBM?
Yeah.
It's our fault. We never asked him to write it down, because it turns out that he is the peace president. A piece of Greenland, a piece of Venezuela, a piece of Iran, a piece of Gaza. We just didn't ask him to write it down. It's our fault. He didn't lie. And now a piece of Cuba too. Huh?
Jamie in the comments says Trump
it's stressful living here now.
Jamie's in the comments saying Trump is
What's
not
that, Easter
attacking
Thomas?
Iran. Jamie Russell is in the comments and he says Trump is not attacking Iran because he believes in dispensational theology.
The reason we know
What
that,
does that
Jamie,
mean?
yeah, the reason we know, I don't think it, I don't, maybe he misinterprets what we said. There are some generals that are telling the soldiers that are moving towards Iran that Trump is the chosen of Jesus, and something that Trump has said himself. I am the chosen one. He has said it. It's in his mouth. I can find the quote for you. He didn't say I'm from Jesus.
The troops are being told
but
that.
the
That's
general,
a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
That's the fact, that the troops are being told that he will bring the Armageddon closer. Therefore, guys, Jesus is gonna come back closer, faster, quicker. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I have an issue with that, man. I have an issue with that because he's putting my name to shame in front of all the atheists. And they're like, if that's what a Christian is, I don't want to be one of those. A true Christian says that God has a plan and we can't alter that plan and make it faster or slower.
Or take credit for it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, because I didn't think of that. Yeah, taking credit for that. Just remember who brought the Armageddon. It was me. I can't do him as well as
I'm going to
Adrian
drop
does.
out of here, guys.
All right, BBM, thanks for being around.
Good talking to you guys. Eastern Thomas, good to meet you.
Good to talk to you.
Take care.
Okay, so I don't know where Steven went. He says he'll be right back. But Eastern Thomas, the floor is yours, bro. Take the mic off me.
Well, I don't know what you want to talk about. I don't really have many other grievances outside of Bruce's behavior, but I don't know. What did you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk about anything, to be honest. If I want to talk about something, it's stuff that I'm having issues with other Christians. They don't appreciate me talking about that stuff. And I think as Christians, we shouldn't be that way.
Right.
We can never excuse death and murder.
Right.
And they're saying I'm a leftist.
Oh, gee, you abide in natural law and the eternal law of God. You big leftist.
You liberal.
You abortion-loving hippie.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Silliness.
So did you hear about the school that at first they started saying that it was Iran that hit it, but then they kind of mumbled that okay, it was our fault, but they didn't
I heard a little bit about that. Yeah, I know Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, who typically tends to be very pro-Israel, was like, well, I kind of feel a little uncomfortable about this. Senator Kennedy, by the way, not to be confused with John Kennedy, the one that got assassinated, not to be confused with President John Kennedy. There's another senator currently in American politics named Senator John Kennedy, and he's known because he tends to have a lot of really funny lines. Like, even people that don't like him admit that he's kind of hilarious. Like, he'll say things like, well, I feel like this bill is like getting whooped in the butt with a cold lemonade on a summer's day, or something like he'll have like very long-winded sentences like that. Like, there was one time, and this is verbatim, an actual ad when he was running for re-election. This was when the whole defund the police George Floyd thing was going on. He had an ad. Basically, all these Republicans tend to have these I support the police ad. and all this different type of stuff. So he had one which was a pro-police one, except that the ad was, here's what he actually said. He said, if you, he's like, well, I support the police, and he says, and if you don't support the police, next time somebody's breaking into your house, call a crackhead. That's an actual ad from him. But he basically said, because he's typically pro-Israel, but he was like he basically admitted he was uncomfortable with this whole school thing in an interview. But I do have to go right now. I will be back soon. I do have to head out right now.
Okay.
Well, that is a shame. We're going to miss you dearly.
Talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Good to see you. See you soon.
Achilles, talk about timing.
Yeah, of course. I'm also holding something here that I can't drop it right now, and I can't leave. And I was waiting because I would have to start talking over there, and I don't know. I don't know what I would go on about. So,
Well, did anybody else bring any grievances? Because it is Bring Your Grievance night.
yeah, well, we did talk about how grieved we all are that the Orthodox Church got shut down in Jerusalem. But good thing you weren't around. But
See, call it the Pentecostal in me, Achilles, but that was a God thing.
yeah, did you just mute me or something?
I honestly don't know how we make it work. But we do.
No, we do because we respect each other's opinions. We don't condemn one another for having a different opinion, like some people do. I don't want to name any names. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, has Aiden and Gigi made up?
No, I don't think so. I hope they do. I hope. I don't know. I don't know. I know that these are times where some things that are happening are divisive, but they are deep. They're rooted deep into people's hearts. Like people need to talk about them. So it's okay if the roads of some friends separate for a little time, so each one can talk about what they need to talk about. I don't think that means they hate each other, right?
I totally agree. And we ought to be able to do more of that.
I just gotta get this thing in.
Achilles, Bruce is back on Gigi's channel and going at it with Sandman. What do you say about shutting this down and going to troll there for a few?
Yeah, let's go. I think we're done with the grievances. Now let's go make more.
All right, I'll meet you there.
Make some.